Hey, what's up, Prophetic Weekly? Man, I'm just stirred up. That's all I know how to say about this video today. Even as I was just putting it together, I felt such a strong weight of the Lord on this. This week has been just wild and crazy. Every night, every single night this week, I had a prophetic dream. It's just the hour and the season that we're in. The prophetic is moving to the forefront like I've never seen before. It's powerful. A lot of people are prophesying things and you're seeing it happen, really soon, really quick. So let's jump into this, and I'm excited. All right. So here we go. First word is by Charlie Shamp. I always pay attention to what Charlie says. He's spot on. He said, I heard the Spirit of the Lord saying, I will wipe away your tears in your demonic afflictions. Time out. I don't think I've ever in my life had more people message me with demonic afflictions as I have in the last month. It's crazy. So when you hear a word like this from a very notable, solid prophet like Charlie Shamp, that says, I will wipe away your tears, end your demonic afflictions, and restore your lost destiny, you better pay attention and get ready to plug back into what God has for you. Then it says, this is the season of divine doors to great opportunities, and you will not miss them. So when you get a word like this, understand this. God's going to wipe away the tears. He's going to end I call it the harassment season from the enemy, but he's going to restore what you thought you've lost, okay? And then great doors of opportunity, not doors of opportunity, great doors of opportunity are about to arise. Now that right there is a word that you can hang on to. Next word is by my dear friend Agnes EBEDI, and she wrote, overdue promises are released to you now. You can put those two words together right there. When Agnes is somebody that when she says something, it's like it happens in my life that week. And so that's a very encouraging word, because even before I shot this, my wife and I were just talking about how many promises that God has given us over the past month, and we haven't seen them come to pass, but there's still such a weight and an oil on those words, and I know they're coming to pass. And yes, they are overdue promises, and so I am beyond ready for them to come to pass. And so I'm just declaring that this word, that they're going to be released, and I want you to do the same thing. I want you to really just lean into what the Lord has said to you and know that they're about to come to pass. Next word is by Amanda Grace. It's a very, very long word. I'm just going to skim through a few parts that I really felt was for this video. She said there's an acceleration coming and some shall tumble. Over the last, I'm going to say 3-4 months, the Lord has been telling me about exposure is here, and the kingdom people are about to arise. Now, if you keep up with things in the world, you can look at the political system and see this word is very true. If you look at the worship scene, you're seeing a lot of stuff happen right now. Even in ministries, you see some ministers that you would, I hate to even say big name. I hate when people say that about ministries and gospel singers, but people are coming to the forefront saying, hey, I've messed up, I've sinned, which is very honorable. I want you to know that when a high profile person admits that they have been struggling, that is a very honorable thing, okay? For them to say, hey, I need restoration. But you're seeing a lot of this happen because God is building the real. There's some apostolic prophetic people that I've known over the years that have came forth and said, hey, I was wrong, I've messed up, I've sinned. I'm out in the open and people judge them. You shouldn't do that. You should pray for the restoration. But there's a lot of people that, as this word she had, is going to be removed from their position. They're going to be removed from the place that they are sitting right now. I've seen people that were corporate CEOs. They were high places in ministry. They were just in any area of life, in school districts, that were just in big places and removed suddenly. Just, you never can be prideful. You've got to walk in humility. And this word from Amanda Grace, that there's an acceleration coming. It's coming to the prophetic words over your life, but it's coming to America. Another thing she said was into like Australia, different places. And when I pray, I feel England and Great Britain and UK, that there's a lot coming, that there's some restoration coming to different nations, and God is about to move through, I guess you could call it, the whole 7 mountains of influence. He's making some changes. Okay, there's an acceleration coming. Don't be frustrated with what you see. Keep praying the word that Amanda Grace has, that the acceleration is coming, that the wrong people will be removed and the right people will be placed in the right areas. Okay, next word is by a super good dude, prophet, pastor Mike Maiden. He said, it's coming to you. An incredible heaven-sent harvest is on the way to your life. People have forgotten the many sacrifices that you've made for others over the years, but God hasn't forgotten. He's waking up kings. You hear me? He's waking up kings, people of influence on your behalf, and giving them urgent assignments of blessing you. Do not be discouraged that your breakthrough hasn't happened yet. Keep trusting. Okay, I'll tell you just a little bit about something. The Lord gave my wife and I 3 very distinct words by 3 notable prophets, very, very prophetic, of people of influence, kings were going to bless us. And there was a time frame on this word. Well, let's go back to the word that Charlie Shep had. Same thing. And so when you have 3 notable prophetic people give you the same word in a very short amount of time, that kings were about to bless you, you hang on to that word. Okay? And so my wife and I are hanging on to this. And when I read this by Dr. Mike Maiden, I just thought, wow, God, this is exactly what you've prophesied to us personally. And it's going to happen. And the first part of that word, what was really for me, and it's for a lot of you too, it said, I've seen what you've done for so many others over the years. I've seen what you've done. Now I'm about to bless you. So grab a hold of that. And the rest of this word says, keep trusting, obeying, and worshiping your loving God, and let your heart be at rest in the assurance that God has already scheduled something very good for your life. That's powerful. That right there made my week when I read that work by Dr. Maiden. Next word is by Christina, Elisha. It said, this is a time for my heroes to level up. She said, I heard the Lord saying it's time for my heroes to level up. Have you ever felt like the enemy has been playing games with you? Remember on Charlie Shamp's word, I said that there's a lot of people that's been demonically afflicted. Harassment is what I call it, for a long time. It's time that you level up. And it says, you ever felt like you stepped out in faith to answer the call of God on your life, and it just seems that you keep getting hit with warfare, and it just blocks you from your next place. Well, the word she has is, she's like, I got great news. Enough's enough, and it's time for the heroes in the faith to start leveling up. So friends, I'm here to tell you today, this is your season that you will start to level up. Now, I got this next word is going to pretty much wrap all of them up together. It is by Nate Johnston. And I got to tell you about this word. This word. It's called I'm Releasing My Firebrands. I'll tell you what's funny about this. We were at corporate prayer the other night, and right before corporate prayer, one of our guys in our church walked up and said, "I got a word. The Lord says, I'm releasing the firebrands in our church." And I said, okay. So we have corporate prayer, and this is a married couple came in just a little bit late to prayer. And my friend got there really early, and then we were praying at the end of it. This one lady just said, "I just feel the Lord says I'm releasing my firebrands in the church." Well, my oldest daughter couldn't be at prayer that night. And when I got home, she just said, "Dad, I just feel like God is saying, I'm releasing the firebrands in our church." And I thought, 3 people in one night with a distinct word, firebrands, okay? They could have said revivalists. They could have said consecrated ones. They could have said the remnant. But they all said firebrands. And then Nate Johnston released this word, I'm releasing my firebrands. So it really got me excited. He writes, recently while in worship, I was talking to the Lord when this prophetic flow began to come forth. I took out my phone and, pressed record. And this is what I basically got. God, I see the firebrands raising up. God, I see the firebrands raising up. I see hot coals being released. I see the hot coals being released. What am I seeing, Lord? What are you saying? What would you say to this generation? And the Lord says, come out and be separate. Come out and be separate. The Lord says, come out and be separate. For I am removing the bells from the lips of this generation, says the Lord. I am in this hour putting fresh, hot coals on the tongue of my people, and that have been afraid to speak. They've been muzzled with the spirit of python around their necks, choking them into submission and silence. They're rising up in this hour. This is an hour that they are rising up. He goes on to say that this is a generation that has been in so much conflict, a generation that has been confused, because it's the spirit of the age that has been binding them, trying to choke them into submission. But this is the hour that people will be confronting the fear of man, and God is going to pour out his spirit upon them. Now that right there, my friends, is a powerful word. So I just gave you 6 very powerful words by 6 powerful apostolic prophetic voices. Just want to encourage you, keep praying for the nations of the world. Keep praying for different apostles and prophets that you read their stuff, that you watch their videos. A lot of them are under heavy attack. They won't say it, but they are. Pray for my wife and I. Just like, the different words that I read. My wife and I got a lot of prophetic promises that we are believing that it's about to come to pass over our lives. And I pray and believe with you guys. So love y'all. I feel so much weight on this prophetic weekly. So if any of these words really ministered to you, just write the author of that word's name down in the comment box, because a lot of them watch these and it really encourages them to keep pushing forward, because there's a lot of warfare in this season. But I'll tell you what, we're going to win. I love you guys, and y'all have a blessed day.